Alright, welcome guys. Today is Monday, May 8th. Hope everybody had a great week. I'm not sure why my screen's a little blurry, but hopefully that fixes itself up a little bit. I'm gonna adjust my camera just a little bit. Yeah. Oops, too much. Oops. That's not how it's supposed to be. That is a lot better. Alright, cool. Alright, welcome guys to another Monday in Credit Able Cash show. Hopefully you guys had a great week. What's up, Tim? How you doing, brother? And today's topic, we're gonna start right off with that, is about customer service. What's up, Jordan? How you doing, man? Shady J in the house. Welcome. So, this has been a topic that's been on my mind for a little bit, and I know everybody that's on Facebook, on any of the Facebook 10 groups, especially if you're in the Windows 10 stuff, this is consistent issue that comes up is type of customer service that customers ask for and you provide, and what is it worth redoing windows, satisfying customers, and all that. I like this topic. Hey, this is like I said, Jordan. It was on my mind, and I've been debating whether to discuss this or not. And I finally looked at it. I was like, hey, listen, this also kind of falls into the financial side of it. Is what is customer service really worth? You know, as a financial situation, as a business standpoint. Hey, Marion's in the house. How you doing, Marion? I deal with a lot of customers daily and would like to hear everyone's view on it. Hey, I do too, exactly. And I have my opinions on it. I have a business standpoint as well as some of the financial point of view. But everybody has their opinion and comments on this. This is a platform where you can now, if you want to discuss it, if anybody wants to jump on here and discuss it, either on the live with me and talk, you're more than welcome to jump on. I'll throw a link up here real quick for you guys to join on if you want to. If you want to just use the comments, use the comments. Whatever works for you guys, let me know. Um, but I think this is a very interesting, um, you know, situations and shows that a lot of people don't cover on this topic. I think we should cover this, and the more we talk about it, the better we get at it, the more we learn from it, and hopefully, we make a better business event out of this or business decision out of this. I'm sorry, I'm kind of lost. I'm trying to do two things here, and I should just focus on one. Multitasking, I guess, sometimes isn't always the greatest. All right, give me 1 second here. I was trying to share the link. There we go. Okay, so where's the live? There's the live. Okay, now I can go in the comments. All right, so there's the link for there. I'll also put it in here. All right. So there's also the link if you want to come on aboard. Um, what's up, Miguel? Michael Lawrence in the house. How you doing, brother? Thank you again for donating that cake to Tender for a Cause. Michael won a 10 cake a few weeks back on WFR, and he's donating that over to Tender for a Cause. Man, I love when people do charity stuff. It's really um, cool stuff. In fact, I had Jason make these shirts for us, and I got Dean's approval, and I'm now donating. Even when I order shirts for my employees, myself, or anybody that gets the shirts from Jason's website, there's a donation that goes to Turner for Cause. So I just love helping out and seeing other people do the same thing. So thank you, Michael. It was nice talking to you today as well too. Marion, thank you for helping out that person, the family friend in Kelly. Hopefully, you guys can get some business done. Appreciate that. Another grateful thing to have is when you know people and, and they can get things done. So, story behind that was somebody was looking for some film and they couldn't get in touch with somebody, so sent them to Marion's way, and Marion got in touch with them, and hopefully they got something going on. Hope people bid high of those hats I got coming down there for WFR. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, we were just chatting about this on our private group on the other side, where Mike Watson's actually hosting a lot of the stuff and holding it until the reunion. He's literally now got an office dedicated to the WFR reunion for anybody sending him small items to hose off. So that tent keg, the fusion tools, that's all going in his I guess it's now the WFR reunion office. Mike Watson, if you're watching, brother, thank you so much. You've done so much. You are an awesome person, bro. Uh, that's funny. So, I'm just laughing on Marion's comment. All right, guys. So let's get to the point today. So today's conversation is customer service. Okay, so first and foremost, what is customer service? You know, how do you look at that? So there's different definitions for different people. You know, customer service is all going to be depending on what you want to provide as your customer service. How is your attitude? How is your business set up? And at what level you want to go to. So we all see this on the tenant groups all over, is that a lot of customers like, hey man, this customer came in and they complained about this. Hey man, this tin job went bad, and they want me to do this, you know, and I'm having to go out of my way to do this, blah blah blah. You know, it all just comes down to what is customer service for you. So for some people, customer service is that, hey, my customer service is, I'm here, this is my opening time. You come in, you pay me money, I do the job, and that's it. That's my customer service. I answer your, I'm here for you. I'm here to do the service, do the job, and that's it. You know, for some others, customer service is going a little bit beyond, making sure they have a good communication with their customers, making sure that their customers are satisfied, make sure that, you know, they encourage their customers to do reviews. So the other reason why customer service is an issue I brought in is, in today's world, if you want your business to succeed, whether you're a business owner or an installer, reviews are a big factor in your business. You know, anytime you want to go get any service, first thing you're doing, you're searching them on Google or Yelp or any of the platforms out there, and majority of the time you're just looking at a quick glance at what their reviews stand at. Okay, and some of you will go a little bit more in detail and look at some of the reviews and make sure that they're valid reviews, they're real reviews, and you want to spend some money with them. You want to make sure that you're spending it with a legit business, a good business, and that you're going to get the customer service that you're paying for. Corey's in the house. Welcome, Corey. Thank you for the box. I got the Jason's show. I won the rack that Corey has. I got it. It's sitting on my table. I gotta take a picture of it, and then I eventually gotta get it on the wall and do maybe a video on it. But Corey and Jason, 10 to do 3. from Tinner Tuesdays. Appreciate you guys. That is an awesome thing. Thank you. It's in the box, and I'm just looking at the material and how it goes up, and I'm already loving it. It's not even up yet, but can't wait to get that up. All right, so Corey says just make it easy to do business with you. Exactly, but the problem is, what is easy, and to what tolerance? Where's the benefit? Where do you draw a line, and what amount of service do you provide? Okay, and where does it balance out for you? So those are the few keys that I thought was a good starter point, and we can kind of see where it kind of goes. So I agree with you. Make it easy to do business with you, but again, if you have that really picky customer, how much do you tolerate them? Or if your customer service you're building up, how do you build up good customer service? And what are some of the good customer service ethics and practices that, a lot of business utilize to make themselves, better than the guy down the street? Ultimately, that's what you're trying to do is, if you're in business, you're wanting that business, ultimately you're taking that business away from somebody else, right? Like, and how do you do that? Well, there's always that, hey, I am better at what I do than somebody else. That can take you really far, but if you have a really shitty customer service, it's not going to take you too far. It might be good for a little bit, but in the long run, that's going to hurt you. And especially in today's age, everything's all about reviews, man. I mean, customers don't hesitate to put a bad review up. It's very hard to get good reviews, but bad reviews go on really, really quick. So customer service is, you're having to do a lot more on the customer service end to accommodate what the customers are paying for or getting or need. I don't know, however you want to kind of put it. So that's my understanding on it. So where do you draw the line? Or how much customer service do you provide? What is it? How do you set up that? That could be another question. How do you set up your customer service standards? So I'm gonna. Yeah, Corey, I do already like it, brother. I appreciate, appreciate it. I just got it out of the box. It's open, and I'm like drooling over it. I love the red color because it goes with my floor and my sign layout. So black and red. I love that you sent me that over the green. I like green just because I like green, but red and black definitely goes with my theme. So I appreciate that. All right, so I had something here. I'm gonna pull this up. Give me 1 second, guys, while I pull this up for you guys. All right, so if you do a quick customer service Google, a service offering consistent of one or more service commitments that uniquely define the level of service in term of availability. So if we're looking at what the definition of customer service is. So to me, customer service, and then I'm gonna go from there to on my end what customer service is to me. Billy, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Billy 8 in the house. Now this guy knows all about customer service, man. He's been doing this thing almost as long as I've been alive. Father time of Tint World, right? How you doing, Billy? Hope you're doing good, man. Welcome to the show. So customer service. So let's look at customer service. Like, to what point do you, if you did a full car, and the customer comes back and let's say a month later, okay, it's not within the standard time. Let's say it's like a month and a half, 2 months later. Says, hey, listen, one of the windows is messing up, or I just don't like it. Do you just go ahead and do you redo it right there and then? Do you look at the window and you pick at it and say, hey, listen, it's not really our fault. Um, you know, we're not gonna do this, or this is how much the charge is. Now there's some companies that's already putting that into their warranties, like, hey, we will redo a window for you at one time, no charge. There's people that sell extra warranty coverage just for that, but that's not customer service. That's extra advantages or services that you're selling. I'm talking about customer service as you providing customer service as your business ethics or standards. Where do you put yourself aside from your competition? Two, making it easiest to do business with me is anything I can do that will make it easier for the customers to get it done. If they need a ride back to work, I'm down to give them one. I'll shut the doors and run them back as long as I can responsibly accommodate the request. I will. Bro, that is a lot. I don't know. See, this is what I love having a communication about this, is that how much to me that's a little extra. That is great customer service. That is a little extra, but that is great customer service. So if you're an individual and you have that at an individual level, yes, that's cool. But what about if you're at a business standpoint? You actually have employees and you have a business. How do you accommodate the cost coverage for that? So let's just look at Corey's comment on it. Corey said he's willing to shut his business down to go get somebody a ride if they need a ride back to work. So let's say the guy lives 5 miles down the street or 5 miles away, which on average means that even if you're going and coming back, you're 15 minutes. Okay. Well, but if they're 10 minutes away, depending on where you're at, that 10 miles could be 25 to 30 minutes or more. What do you accommodate, and where's that standard? You look at that's going to put you as, yes, it's going to put you above, but where is it going to cost you? What about when you give a person a ride that's just a few miles up the street? Even going up a few miles, most times it's going to cost you 10 minutes to go up and back, right? Is it worth you closing your shutter down, potentially losing business that could be right there because you had to go run down and give somebody a ride? Is that something you are willing to do? Or a lot of you guys are willing to do that? So in my business, I have seven guys that work for us. I can sometimes pull a person and have them go do something like that. But if you're an individual and you're actually closing your shop and doing that, what is that worth to you? How much are you charging your service to be able to do that? Are you adding that into your service? Are you adding that cost for that? Or are you doing that at once in a while? So now we got some comments popping up. When a problem arises is when it counts. For sure. It is extra, but it sets me apart from my competitors. I have employees too, but if it's just me, right, reasonable. So anything that takes me more than 30 minutes, I can't do. Customer service should not cost. Exactly, but Billy, it shouldn't cost, but you have to factor in the cost of providing the customer service. So let's just take a look at what Corey is talking about right now. What's up, my brother Trip? How you doing, bro? Not much, man. We just kind of went over some of the definitions, started this I'll offer an Uber. So that's where I'm kind of at. I'll offer a Uber as well if you really need Uber on there. Strive for clients, not customers. Treat them like family. That is a great point of view right there. So I'm gonna come back on that, Michael. I love that response. In fact, its job is to make all parties happy. Okay. Makes sense. Killing copperhead snakes outside. What the hell you doing, man? Bringing the country in here. All right. So, um, Corey, I really want to attack this right here. Uh, and when I say attack, I want to kind of digest this and I want to kind of break it down. So 30 minutes. Yes, you say you got employees, but employees aside, how many of you guys in here willing to provide a 30-minute ride where you actually will have to close your business to go do that? Let's see. We got 10 people in here. How many of you guys are willing to do that? And do you factor that into your thing? Is that once in a while? Or is that something that you will offer regularly? Overall service is... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to read this again. Overall service, it is within budget. Most paint stores have 100 to waste on anything. It's in the budget. I'm not sure I quite understand that one. Maybe I try to make them understand to drop off and have a ride. If not, I'll try to accommodate whatever that needs it. Okay. Marco says no. Marco, elaborate, please. Potential clients missed. All right, COS. Corey says, and it's definitely not a daily occurrence. I don't offer to every single customer, but if somebody needs it, I'm down. I will give a ride if at lunch or for large ticket items. PPF, ceramic coating, driving, cost. Right. Guys, are you Uber or tenting their vehicles? Windows. Exactly, Marco. I love that we got Marco in here. So, Marco has a lot more experience than a lot of people out there with being at different shops and getting to know a lot of different people's setup and all that, just because what his job entitles and him just visiting a lot of people. So I agree with you. Are you Uber? Are you setting Uber? Now, Trip brought this very good point, is that if you're doing PPF, it's a large ticket. Yeah, I'm gonna do more for it. So that's why I want to say, like, hey, where the benefits and what the cost of customer service comes down to is that if somebody's coming down and they want that basic dyed film or your entry level film, and let's say on average you're charging $200 for a standard car, with most rates are around $200 on a standard car. Are you willing to, at that $200, let's say it's a first time customer, are you willing to close down your shutters for 30 minutes to go give them a ride when they come in to get that $200 job? So, is it worth you to do that? And like Billy says, if you're closing your shutters down, you have a potential of losing clients that could be coming in at that time. Or let's say you are a business owner and you have multiple employees. Having one installer away for 30 minutes. Okay, what about the fuel cost of it? Do you have a company car that you're gonna use this for? You're gonna use your employee's car. Are you gonna accommodate the employee for dropping off that customer? Employees will do a lot of stuff, but at the same time, if they're spending their gas and time, they want something back on that as well too, right? So like this is I love this debate. I love this conversation coming up. I love seeing that a lot of people have different point of views on it, but this is where it comes down to. You make money tenting, exactly. So if you're giving out a ride, is that accommodated in there? Are you putting that cost in there? Even though if it's once in a while, yep, I don't see it as just the one job. Okay, so Corey has a great mindset. He has a business mindset that he's looking at the future. So my thing is similar to that, but at to a certain level, at to a certain, you know, um, cost factor. You know, it's also how you train your customers as well. That's why, like I said, having some standards and some guidelines is really where it kind of comes down to is, yes, you want to treat every customer as not a one-time customer, but a long-term relationship. You know, don't treat your customer as a number or a dollar sign. Treat them as uh, supposedly a long-term relationship, a friend, or something more than customer. And that's why you build that business for the long term. I want the customer's next 10 car. I understand that. But how many, if you are doing a $200 job and you have to shut your door down on a first time customer 30 minutes away, is it worth it? Let's talk about that. My old work had a few runner cars. They would offer the cars to customers if needed. That would be, again, somebody had to put that into the cost, the fuel, uh, car insurance, accidents, all that stuff. Have strong Wi-Fi to have the customers busy on their phones. Extra nice coffee machine, massage chair, and create a nice experience for the customers to enjoy while they wait for their cars. So the problem with that, Marco, is a lot of these guys don't have a waiting area or don't spend the money towards it. Again, it comes down to cost. As clients don't expect a ride home, it would arrange it if I didn't want to wait. The client owns responsibility too. So that's what I mean. At to what point customer service you extend to. So Corey's case is that, hey, I'm building a client. I'm not treating as a one customer because I'm looking for their 10 cars. I am too, but I have a limit on what I'm gonna be able to do for you because me providing you a ride is not a typically a standard when you come in to get your windows tinted or you come in to get your tires serviced because I offer both services. But my business in Atlanta for the last 16, now going on 17 years is more focused on providing customer service, making sure my customers are happy, going as above as possible I can to my competition to give them the customer service. So if they have a complaint like, hey, my balance is out, come bring it back in. We'll rebalance it, no charge. Okay, I have this sound issue, bring it back in. We'll look at it. I'll spend half an hour. I'll rather spend half an hour on the customer's car or redoing something than spending 30 minutes to go give them a ride. Now, if there is a situation where the customer is about to be cashed out and they don't have the funds and they need a ride to the bank, I will do that. But for me to give them a ride to their home or to their work, unless they prearranged it with me, I'm sorry. That's where I don't think it's as a good business ethic to train these customers into that. And that's where I kind of wanted to have this debate is to what extent do you do this? Because then you're also training these people to have these outrageous expectations of customer service. That's my personal opinion. You may not like that, but that's where it comes down to. Especially where in a busier city, that's less. Now, if you're in a smaller town, more customer service, there's less people, more people are willing to do more. But again, you gotta realize that if you are stepping away or you're having an installer step away, and let's say you're a business owner and you're having an installer away and somebody comes in, now you can't get to that 10 job because until they're back, you have to wait 30 minutes. Now the next customer has to suffer for somebody not having their shit together. I don't know, it might be brutal, but that's where it kind of comes down to is where we're kind of talking into. All right, so I want to go to Corey's. Most rides in my area take me less than 10 minutes. Again, use your judgment. You have a nice waiting area, but not everybody can wait. Most rides I give are back to work. Billy say exactly. Corey's got nothing to do. The flat gas jobs we have, pull the loan, make it worth it. They will be like, do you do houses? And I'll get a tint whiz proposal right there and then, or right then and there. All right. With advertising, they say you need to spend money to make money, right? Well, spending money to pick up and delivery vehicle kills two birds with one stone. You need not only accomplish word of mouth advertising because the customer is definitely going. So, I'm on the okay. So customer service. See, this is where I have a client, long time client in the tire side that is a small time business. It's him and his wife. They will actually cater to customers to go pick up their vehicle from their home or their um, business. They will then do whatever service needs to be done, and then they will go back and um, deliver the vehicle to their home or their office. But they have a surcharge already built in for that because they know there's fuel, there's time, there's two cars, or there's Uber. Okay, so guys, on providing this service, just look at it Uber wise. What does it cost to, even if you are just doing a 10-minute turnaround time? Okay, let's say you're just going up 2 miles, 2 miles up and down, 10 minutes. What does Uber charge on that? Okay, that is a cost. So a lot of people, this is where customer service kind of gets out of hand a little bit. Is that, and then you're changing these expectations for these customers. Like, hey man, um, this little speck right here, like that's you got to redo the whole window. A standard spec that most people just look at Matt's group, window tint stuff. I mean, how many people leave that group because there's so many customers out there just complaining, and then a lot of time their complaints are not valid. I'm sorry to say, a lot of time their complaints are not valid. Sometimes they are, but a lot of time they're complaining on the littlest thing or something that's ridiculous. Okay, or they're only telling half the story. But at the same time, I also see a lot of tenders jump in and be like, hey, that's bullshit, I'm not redoing this, it's not my fault, blah 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 blah. So like, that's where I'm saying customer service needs to come into a certain degree and certain understanding. But at the end of the day, it is a cost factor, whether you look at it or not, whether you understand it or not. It is a cost factor. Now, how do you put that into your cost? So Corey's saying I'm willing to do it for 10 minutes, no problem. Michael's saying it's advertisement. Yes, you do spend money in advertisement, but when you're having somebody that should be at work knocking out cars, well, you should be at work and you should have a business open, closing that business down and not being open, then you're also making that affect your business, how your business looks to potential future customers. If you're closed when you're supposed to be open, what does that say to your customers? Hey man, this guy says he's open from 9 to 6, but here is 3 o'clock and he's not here. Here is 11 o'clock and he's not here. Same thing with the customers, with shops that has a time, but then they walk in whenever they want to. Okay, if I'm late by 2 minutes, 1 minute, like, I'm pissed at myself. When I hire my guys, like, if my office hours are 9 o'clock, I want my guys there at 8:45, 8:50. Okay, I literally have this debate with one of my guys that opens up sometime, and he be pulling in right at that time or a couple minutes past it. Hey, traffic. So I can understand once in a while, but a regular standard, if you know you got to go to the bathroom as soon as you get to the shop, put that into your time, man. Like, I literally have this nerve that gets struck every time I hire somebody and the guys come in, and the first thing that they got to do is they got to take a 15-minute dump, and then they got to get in, but they want to be expected to be clocked in at 9 o'clock, but they're not ready to work until 9:15. Now, I understand if you got to do it once in a while, that's totally understandable. But if your routine is every day that you're going to go straight to the bathroom, you're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock, and then you're pulling up at work at 8:59 or 9 o'clock or 9:01, and then you're going straight to the bathroom for 15 minutes, but you expect it to be clocked in at 9 o'clock. And then you go in and you're clocking in, and then you go into the bathroom. Now it's a whole different respect for somebody that actually does that, but then they go to the bathroom and then they come in and they clock themselves in. I literally had this with a few employees, and it gets to my nerve on that. Like, that is, you're not being considerate of people. Again, there's a lot of a lot of point of views we can do on this, but it's what you set up as a standard. And then, but there is always a cost for whatever you guys do. So whether you look at it as, hey, I'm doing this as a cost for me not doing advertisement, but my word of mouth is getting out that, hey, I'm providing free ride to work if you come get your windows tinted from me. But then you're starting to build that expectation for that client. So if you're doing that for the first time on the second car, he's probably going to expect you to do the same thing. Now, if you're going to do 10 cars in the course of, let's say, 5 years, because on average, how many cars does a customer bring you on average? We're talking about an average customer. I'm not talking about one guy that has a whole bunch of cars. I'm talking about an average household typically has 2 cars, maybe 3. Average household. How often are they changing their cars out? So how often are they tinting their vehicles? So if you got an average household with the 2 cars typically last on average 5 years. So how often are you seeing this client that you're spending 30 minutes to go drop off? Yes, you're building a long-term relationship with them, but if you're closing your shop or you're having an employee wait for 30 minutes or 20 minutes for something that they should already have pre-done themselves or make arrangements, is that part of customer service? I don't know. I don't have fleet of cars. Welcome, Mike. Hey, well, we were just talking about you earlier. Welcome to the show, Mike. Thank you so much for what you're doing for WFR Reunion. Like I said, Mike is literally putting an office aside for WFR Reunion, for people that needs to send their stuff for the show. If you are attending that show, that's mostly for vendors and stuff, but for Tender for Cause, like, he's got a 10 going to him, he's got some tools going to him and stuff like that. Should be there 15 minutes early so that the shop is ready to go on time. I'm with you. That is my point of view exactly. We're talking pool right now. I'm sorry, it gets sidetracked. And I know I'm not the only one that deals with that. Okay, if you're a business owner, you know you deal with that. Even if you're not a business owner, you know you have a regular routine, and you need to put that in there somehow. I don't know. 1 hour drive, the coffee and donut working is with them. Billy may need to take that 15-minute poo right now, man. All right, so we got some comments we want to catch up. We're planning to call Michael Lawrence. Mike Watson. Billy says call Michael Lawrence. All right, my pleasure, fam. Thank you, Mike. You do a lot, bro. You just want to put it out there. Planning to Michael Lawrence. Mike's in here. Planning to Michael Lawrence, and you was 10 minutes late today, Michael. I am, sir. All right, so Billy, we talked earlier today and we got it figured out. Okay, all right. So I guess that's when Mike called me as well too. I think we're talking about the same thing. All right, so let's go to benefits. Okay, so like Michael and like Corey said, is the benefits is when you're providing extra services, you are building a client for long term, and you're getting consistent customers. But then you're also looking at, I know Michael and Corey hasn't said this, but I'll go ahead and say this already. Now, we talked about average house having 2 cars. On average, they're making those last 5 years, but they have family and friend. So you can get 10 cars out of a customer on averagely a year to 2 years, depending on where you're at and what the volume looks like. So there's also that debate like, hey, I did this for this customer, but he's going to give me family and friend. So if they're doing family and friend, Now that 10 cars reality is more likely that you can get 10 cars out of a customer in maybe 12 to 24 months. But again, if you're expecting them, or if you're setting up for them to get a free ride out of you, and you do that on their first or second time, now they're gonna have a you're building a habit. You're building that, which I really hate for the new generation is you're building that. What is it called again? Participate participation trophy. You're setting up your customers with really high and really unrealistic um, expectations, customer service. That in the long run, as you get busier, as you get bigger, you're not gonna be able to accommodate, and then you're gonna have an issue with the same customer. Like, hey, but you did this for me last time I did my car. So that's where customer service, like I said, at to what extent, and then to what benefits and at what cost. So, um, Mike Watson just put it very simple: drop off at 9 and pick up at 5. Um, Trip finally received his tank. Yay! Bro, I love you, man. I'm so sorry it took so long. Uh, I hope it pulls a good ticket, you too. Okay, so I guess they're talking about some work. All right. It was about the tank. Michael gave up for. Okay, yeah. So I thought that's what it was. All right. So again, guys, customer service. You guys need to have an understanding on what you want to do, and then this is what I was talking about: is that there's always a cost for it. Now, I'm not expecting every customer to pick it up at 9 o'clock and drop it off at 5. That's preferably what I would like as well too. But a lot of time customers want their cars, or they want to do it in the work time, and you make arrangements and you do something where you can knock out a car faster. So this is where communication with customers come up, and you need to put that communication up front, and you need to build a standard for that. That way, if you have to do something, that it is built into that cost and that services, and then you are setting up your customers for long term. So I don't on a rides. Like I said, if you need to go to the bank real quick, and just because you are having difficulties with your bank card or whatever situation is, I will accommodate you for that. Dropping you off at work or at home or whatever needs to be, I'm sorry, I draw a line on that, unless it's a situation where you communicated beforehand, like, hey man, this is the only car I got, I really want this service, can you accommodate me with this? And if it works within my schedule, or I can put something aside to do that ahead of time, maybe within certain distance. Or I might just say, hey, this is what Uber costs, I'll do it on my account, I'll eat it up, or here's Uber, man. I'll put it into your ticket. Whatever. I don't know. I think there needs to be I think there needs to be the realistic answer to that, is that as a business owner or as an installer, whatever, it costs you to provide certain stuff. Even providing Wi-Fi, providing those beverages, the coffee, it gets refilled, right? Like, it needs to be refilled. I just spent $311 on Sam's Club just yesterday. Providing, getting stuff for the guys in the back, and having some stuff for the waiting areas. So, where's that $311 going to come out of? All right, we got Billy. Don't need it. Take the money and run. That never works. Drop and pick up at 5. They call at 11:30. Is it ready yet? Exactly. So, but I mean, give them a realistic time. Be very, upfront with your customers. Yeah, exactly, Trip. Anything to get the payment. I mean, once you need that payment, you want to get that. But again, even with that, I'm not expecting I'm not trying to build that into them. So I always remind my customers, like, hey, listen, these are the forms of payments we take in. You want to make sure that you have the necessity to do whatever you need to get that payment done, yes, you're not gonna pay until you pick up. Like my practice is that here's here's your quotation. Now, if I underquoted it, I'm gonna go out of my way and try to fix that within that quotation, unless it's really crazy. Then I will try to go and talk to a customer and see if they understand. If they don't understand, they still want to do that. Let's say if somebody wants a ceramic job and you quote them a regular job, that's your fault. If they said, "Hey, I want ceramic," and then you're quoting them something wrong, that's a mistake that you fix. That's customer service. Like, hey, you're providing customer service because of whatever, right? If you are having to spend more time on a car than you expected. Let's say you're dealing with those Volkswagens, those Volvos. That's something that you're gonna build in, or that is something that with your experience you're like, hell no, I'm not touching those cars, or hey, I'm putting an extra hour in just in case if I do, you know, run into these things. That's to me, that's what customer service is. My customer service is like, hey, I'm gonna provide you knowledge, I'm gonna provide you upfront details, I'm gonna prepare you for what the transaction needs to be. If you are spending $400 with me, here's are the payment forms, this is what your cost is. When you come in, we'll do a walkthrough on the car, make sure you're happy with the job, and then you make your payment. Now, even at that time, sometimes the cards have issues, that stuff. That's why I'm willing to make the exception and go run out to the bank with you. Well, that also because you need to get your car back and I need to get paid. But that is something that, even at that time, we'll do it if we have to. Again, I try to do that once every 6 months or a year. Man, I'm not even trying to do that once a month, honestly speaking. But that's because we communicate with our customer up front. And that's because we got to know time is money, man. Guys, at the end of the day, time is money. Yes, you can go drop off somebody and potentially have a sale for a flat glass, but come on, like the realistic thing is, how many of those jobs are you gonna get? I don't know. All right, let's catch up on some of these comments here. We sometimes offer teachers for us to pick up their cars and then tint them and return before the end of school. Most of the teachers, we do this for our long-term family friends. Yes, so again, that is something that you would make the expectation. You would make that for that because you pre-arrange it with them. I thought new headphones for better call service. Oh, bought new headphones. Hopefully that works, man. Have any of you tried the bone conducting headphones? If you need your hand free, I recommend trying them. It can help you stay safe and hear better while great sound. Definitely got to look into that. I got Beats. I'm okay with the Beats, even though I spent over $100 on those. Our effort to keep, I'm guessing this cost down for not only you buy the rest of our customers. We do not offer the service, but we will have your car finished as soon as possible while maintaining your highly qualified installation. I mean, yes, you can focus more on installation, but at the same time, customer service in today's age, you have to have customer service there for a certain to compete with some of your competition out there. Having that 5-star review or close to that 5-star review is very important. That is something where it costs you. How do you accommodate that? How do you work on those reviews in our effort to keep costs down? $300 for the bones. So yeah, I mean, and that's where, Eric, it comes down to. It comes down to it costs you. If you go give them a ride, if you are spending 30 minutes with them for a consultation, if you're doing anything above and beyond, it costs you money. I just want people to realize that what that money is, what that time is, and hopefully you're building that into your business and you understand that. Like one of my brother, he works with my brother works with me, so like we do multi-piece wheels sometime. Okay, now we don't do them no more. Because why we don't do multi-piece wheels anymore? We used to, because multi-piece wheels tendency have a headache that comes with it because they usually leak or they have the installation takes a lot longer. Now, if I do a job for $100 and it takes me on average 30 to 45 minutes to do that job, or let's say an hour to do that job, $100 takes me an hour to do it. On average, that's fine. Now, once in a while, a job may take me 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes extra. That's fine. But if you have majority of jobs that you're charging $100 for, but you're spending double or more that time, there comes to a point where you're like, hey, listen, this is not cost effective. Okay, I've got an overhead, I've got employees, I've got to pay myself. And as employees, that I mean, as a business owner, a lot of people don't realize this, that you forget to pay yourself. And that's what a lot of businesses feel, is because you're providing this customer service and this expectation for the customers that is unrealistic. And just because you're trying to get that customer and build a relationship, you're also um, building a bad habit. That's where it comes down to. Again, what Mike talked about with teachers, you're providing some stuff, or especially where it comes down to teacher, firefighters, any service people. If you're a service person, I'm gonna give you extra 10% off just because you're service personnel. If you're in the military, whatever, if you're in the fire, whatever, I watch out for my officers. I watch out for anybody that's doing any of these services, because you want to provide some extra service. That's where my customer service comes in. Now, if you're a return customer, repeat customer, there may be some extra stuff that I may get you a little bit better deal on, because now you're consistently coming back in and you're providing me this extra business. That is something that I will put into the customer service. Me having a good Wi-Fi, like Marco talked about, having a clean waiting area, having a comfortable waiting area, having something decent to watch on the TV. Okay, um, those are some of the stuff. Having the AC blasting, so that way you're not feeling hot while you wait for your car. You're not feeling uncomfortable. Having an outside waiting area for people that want to wait outside. I have benches outside. I'm dealing with this whole headache with dealing with homeless people at nighttime, and having to put up a fence that's going to cost me thousands of dollars because they're, you know, abusing those benches and damaging my property. But that's cost of doing business, and I have to build that into a long term to make sure that I'm not just removing those benches just because I'm dealing with that. So that's another reason why I kind of brought this topic up. I literally have a fence guy putting up a fence right now, and yesterday this homeless lady, that's one of the ladies that's on our camera all the time providing issues, and she's like, hey, I don't know why you guys spending all this money on this fence. We're still gonna get in, and we're gonna do this. And they're like, why? Just for the hell of it. So what do you deal with that? Just because of that one person, I'm not gonna jeopardize removing the outside benches and sitting areas for my customers that like sitting outside. Especially with COVID, a lot of people still are very cautious on that COVID side, and they want to make sure that they're not sitting too close to other people, and they want to have the outside fresh air or whatever the situation is. Some people just like having that. We have churches right across the street. A lot of people bring that food in. I'm not stopping my people from eating, customers from eating. Yes, I have to clean up all the time, do all that. That's cost of doing business. That's the customer service that I will provide. That, hey, I'll take care of you on that. You use the vending machine, ate up your dollar. Here's another dollar. Don't even ask. Here's another dollar. Just get yourself that. Having different options on coffee and that stuff. I don't know. That's where my point of view comes into, is that, like, hey, whatever you guys do, make sure that cost is there for it. All right, Eric, my thoughts was to lay out our business practices, expectations up front. Uh, I agree with you, Eric. I think that's the same thing where my thoughts are. And that's where I want to kind of put that out there, is that, like, listen, guys, customer service, it does cost you to provide customer service, but customer service is also very important these days, especially with Google reviews and other reviews platforms out there. Us trying to get those 10 whiz reviews are a key thing as well, because that potentially gets you more customers when you send out that proposal, that you got those reviews there showing that, hey, not you only have one or two or three or five reviews, but now you have multiple reviews that are saying the same things, that, hey, these guys are going up and beyond providing customer service. But what is that up and beyond? I don't believe in giving customers ride to their work or their home, because that should be something that they should be pre-prepared, unless they communicated with me prior and they really need that because they're in a situation. Again, we will look at the job and we will look at the cost of it, or we'll work you into something that works for both of us. Yes, client is not one time. You want to build a client for a lifetime, and we don't do a lot of advertisement, especially on our tires and wheel side. Most of it because we spend years on what Michael and Corey said. You're building a client for long term. You're looking for their continuous business and multiple business, and that has worked very well for us. And we're not putting a lot of stuff into advertising for that. We're saving some funds on that side, but at the same time, I'm still not gonna go give you a ride to your work, because that should be something that you should already have. So I'm gonna weigh out my costs on whatever the service is. Yes, I'm gonna be better than my competition to get that business and continue getting that business, but I need to understand what it costs me to shut down my business. I would never, I won't say never, but I will highly never close down my shutters to go give somebody a ride where I could have another client that needed my services, and because somebody else wasn't prepared, I'm having to lose that client or making my business look bad. That's my opinion on it. But I think we're kind of drawn out on this topic. Everybody has their own opinion on what it is, but at the end of the day, guys, um, my point is to have a practice, understand what your practice is, put that up front if you can with your customer. Make sure they understand it, and then still understand that whatever you do, it costs you one way or another, and you need to evaluate that cost. Hopefully, today was not boring. It didn't sound like it was boring in the comments, but hopefully this was beneficial, and maybe we can pick up on this conversation at another time. Other than that, guys, we're at that 1 hour mark. I like to keep it within that hour. You guys have a great night. See you guys on the next one. Thank you for everybody that came on, and we'll see you guys on the next one.